Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and a puzzle called Two Apart Sudoku by a new constructor called, well, I'm going to hazard a guess at the pronunciation here and say Debabrata. And I don't know, you can give it anything you like there. Debabrate. Who knows? No, it's not likely to be that. But anyway, it's a very interesting rule and a very sparsely populated grid, and I'm very intrigued by this. I'll get to that in a moment. Don't forget, of course, you can check out our Patreon and our apps on the links under the video, along with Sven's SUDOKU PAD, which is marvellous, and our merchandise. The apps have all sorts of puzzles in, so do just choose one variety that you like, and you'll find you get better and better at it as you go through the app. It is great fun, really good way to spend your time. Anyway, Patreon's got loads of good stuff on it too, but the first link under the video is to this puzzle, Two Apart Sudoku by Debabrata. I can't say it. Anyway, and the rules are these. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Orthogonally adjacent cells, so every domino in the grid, must have a difference of at least 3. For example, 2 and 4 can't be next to each other, but 2 and 5 can be. And then finally, a grey circle contains an odd number. And that's it. 6 given digits, 2 circles. This is apparently solvable. When we started doing the channel, I've said that recently, but when we started doing the channel, I thought I knew quite a lot about Sudoku grids. I'd made a few puzzles and in some variants as well, and I'd solved a lot of variant Sudoku, and I thought I knew roughly what you could do in a Sudoku grid. It turns out I knew nothing at all. I mean, the Miracle Sudoku was a real awakener, a real eye-opener in terms of what you could pack into a grid. And I know a lot of people use computer power to create them. That's absolutely fine. Why not? But in fact, very few Sudoku constructors use no computing power at all, I believe. Might be wrong, but do let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But this has surprised me yet again. This is like, okay, we've done a variant at some point, a puzzle which had German whispers in it, in which the adjacent digits on a line had to be at least 5 apart. Dutch whispers, which had to be at least 4. And then there were other distances, which I think for the purposes of that puzzle had different countries attributed, like there was a Chinese whisper or a Singaporean whisper or something. And this puzzle is like drawing lines, imagine that the 3 apart were Singaporean whispers. I don't know, I'm just literally making that up. But you could basically represent, in the same way as German or Dutch whispers, you could represent this rule with a full lattice of horizontal and vertical lines covering every cell in the grid in both directions in some colour, and say those are Singaporean whisper lines. Now, Debabrata has very sensibly just done that in the rule set, but the idea that that grid can be made at all is astonishing to me. And not only can it be made, it's clearly very constrained because there are so few givens provided. And yet it's clearly possible. I don't know, fascinating. Just theorising for a bit, sorry. Waffle before I start solving. Those of you who've come here to see how do you solve this are fed up with this, but those of you who wonder what goes on in my head will be again nodding their heads and going, yeah, he really is weird. Anyway, that's what I was thinking about when I read this rule set. Now, I'm going to try and solve the puzzle now, and we'll probably, the great thing is, as you solve the puzzle, you get some insight into what you didn't understand about how it could be constructed normally. So I've no idea how difficult this is going to be. You can check the video length, but I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So there's only 1 digit repeated, which is a 3. So there must be a 3 in one of those cells. Now, the digits that cannot surround Well, the digits that cannot surround a 1 are very few. It's basically 2 and 3 can't be in the surrounding cells by the rule. Okay, let's look at this one with a 7 in the absolute center of the box. Yeah, okay, so there are 4 digits which can't sit next to the 7. And they're the digits within 1 or 2 of it. So 5, 6, 8, and 9 can't sit in those cells. And so we can divide up the remaining 8 cells in this box into the groups that can sit there. And now we find, okay, I shouldn't have done the 3 pencil marking, because we now immediately find out where 3 does go in the box, and that's our first digit. And then we've got a 1, 2, 4 triple, and I don't know, 4 can't sit next to 5 or 6, but I'm not sure that helps. But that's interesting. We get this box heavily pencil marked, and of course we've got a 3 there, so 5 can't sit next to it, although 6 can. So let's have a look at 8 is a bit less powerful because it only has 1 digit on the upside that is ruled out from being its neighbour rather than 2 like 7. 5 obviously has the full set, so that's good. 5, we've got to say that 3, 4, 6 and 7 are in these cells? No, are not in these cells. So that's a 1, 2, 8, 9 set. That's a 3, 4, 6, 7 set. 3 can't be in those 2 because of the given 3. In fact, 4 can't be in that cell because of the proximity to 3. 8 is looking up at those 2 digits and 1 at that one. Now 3 has to be in one of these 2, and therefore, I suppose 2 cannot be here. This is now 8 or 9. 8 is definitely in one of those 2 cells now. Okay, maybe I am going to have to look at this thing. Oh no, I thought I could rule 9 out of there, but I can't. I can rule 8 out of here actually, because it's too close to 6 or 7. So that becomes the only place for 8 in box 2. And now these 2 can't be 6 and 7. They're a definite 3, 4 pair. We take 4 out of that cell. These are a definite 6, 7 pair. And that kicks 9 out of this cell, because one of them is a 7. And that's too close to 9 to be sitting there. I do begin to see how this works, and it's fascinating. 8, 3, 4, 1. We've got an 8 in one of those 2 cells. Now, if 8 was there, the only digit that could sit next to it is 5, and that's too close to 3. Perfect. So this can't be 8 because that is now too close. In fact, 5, I hadn't realised, is placed in box box 4, and we remove 4 from those cells next to 5, and 4 goes in there. And this puzzle is actually very doable. It's fascinating. 6 comes out of those cells because they're next to 4, and it goes in here. And that's as much as I can do in the box at this point, I'm pretty sure. Now, we've worked out 8 has to go here. It certainly can't go here. Now, what goes next to 8 in this cell? This sees 1, 3, 5, 4, 7, 8. This is 2, 6, or 9, but 9 and 6 are both too close to 8. So this is a weird naked 2 in the center of the grid. 1 there, 2 there. Now, 2 is not allowed to be next to 1 or 3 or 4. So 4's in one of those cells. Also 5, 6 and 9 are that group. This can't be a 5, 6 pair because they're too close together. So they must include a 9, and that's not a 9. Also, much better, 3 can't sit next to 5. So we're getting the whole of row 5 finished. And actually, I think this is a very approachable puzzle. It just needs some thinking about. 3, 8, 2, 5, 1. Now, 4, 9, 6 and 7 to go. Right, we can place 6 in the box. We've got that 6 looking at 2 cells, and we've got 5 that it can't be next to. Also 4 that I pencil marked here and here, that can't be next to 5 either. So 4 is there, and even 7 can't be next to 5. So 7 goes there, 9 goes there. 2 comes out of these cells and goes into that one. None of these are getting resolved, I don't think, unless I'm missing something. But we have 2, 6 and 7 to go here. Well, 6 and 7 have to be kept apart by a chaperoning 2. These two are a 3-4 pair that I don't know the distribution of. And then down here we have 1, 5, 9. 8 mustn't sit next to 9. 4 mustn't sit next to 5. But neither of 3 or 4 can sit next to 5 either. So there's only one place to put 5. I wonder if we're going to get a lot of... Oh, hang on. I've written 3s in both those. I think that was a typo for a 2. Yeah, that's better. I wonder if we're going to get a lot of 2, 5, 8 roping in the puzzle. I say that because obviously, well, I now know it's obvious. 6, 3, 9 is a very useful set of digits for not breaking the rule. So is 2, 5, 8. So is 1, 4, 7. Oh, that 9 is sorting out 8 and 9. Now, I must be able to do a set here. We've got 1, 4 and 7 there, and 2, 5 and 8 here. My 3 apart sets that I was just talking about. But this one is next to 9 and 1, so it can't be 8 or 2. And we can just fill those in. That's only next to 9, so it can't be 7. This one, though, is not allowed to be 1 or 4 and be next to 3. This one is also not allowed to be 4 next to 6. So we've done all of rows 4, 5, 6. These are not getting done. So now I was just guessing that the circles were disambiguators, but I'm not sure. Because I don't really know how to proceed to the next step. So let's look at this as an odd digit. It is not allowed to be 3 because it's too close to 4, and 5 and 9 it sees. So I think it can be 1 or 7. If it was 1, that would have to be a 4. That doesn't resolve. Let's have a look at this. 2, 5, 8, 4, 9. 7 and 6 are too close to 8, so that's 1 or 3. Down here, 4, 9, 5, 8, 2. 1, 3, 6, 7 by Sudoku, but 2 is going to rule out 1 and 3. Now, surely we're going to come up with a pair or something. This can't be 4, 9 or 5, but it also, because of that, can't be 6, 7 or 8. So it's a low digit from 1, 2, 3. Well, this is in the same boat. That's in exactly the same position. It sees the same thing. So that's also from 1, 2, 3. And it's a triple that we now find in column 7. I wonder, I'm now thinking that this circle has been put in by De Barata to just to be helpful. I imagine there's a good chance this puzzle did have a unique solution, but it was very difficult without giving us the help. But I'm very happy to take that help. It doesn't worry me if it is superfluous, and I don't know it is. I'm guessing wildly. I'm interested that it didn't resolve that cell. So it wasn't quite as helpful as I was expecting. Right, this is 1, 4 or 9 by Sudoku, but not 4 by the rule. This one is 1, 4, 6 or 9 by Sudoku, but not 1 by the rule. Oh, these digits are from 3, 4, 5, 9. They see 1, 2, 6, 7 and 8. 3, 4, 5, 9 are the candidates. This one can't be 3 by the rule. 2 has to be in one of those. No, I'm not getting this. 5, 8, 2, 6, 1. Do I have to go here? This is much less constrained. 1, 3 and 5 they're definitely all possible, I think. Okay, I'm not... Oh, 7 has seen that cell. Maybe that's what it's done. Yes, then 7 can't be next to 9, so we do get some traction. That can't be 9. 7 is in one of these. We did have the roping here. I wonder if it carries on here as well. Don't know yet. 2 is in one of those cells. That one is a 1 or a 9. 2, 5, 8, 8, 4, 9, 2, 7, 3, 5, 8. Let me see. We're getting on well with this. We're not far away. This one is 1, 3 or 7, but it can't be 3. 8, 4. Why is this not going? Oh, this cell 8, 4, 9, 6, 7, and it's not allowed to be 5, so it's low. I'm reduced to finding triples and things. I'm probably missing something. 5, 8, 2, 6. This is 3, 4, 7 or 9. 8 though, 8 has to be somewhere in this box, and therefore that can't be 7 or 9 because 8 is now in one of those two cells. So that's 3 or 4. That didn't quite rule out 1 here. This one is 1, 4 or 9. Don't really have proximity to help me with anything there. 7 and 8 are a pair here. I've only just noticed that. That's 3 or 4. So 5 and 9 are definitely both up here. 9's in one of those cells and not there. And now this can't be 4 because of that. Also, no, I was going to say one of those has to be a 3. I'm not sure about that yet. 7, 8, 6, 1, 2, 3. We've got a 5 in one of these cells. That's not a problem for anything. Or is it? That means 5's in one of these cells. That really is important because that means 3 is not here. So that's 9. This is lovely, actually. It's very clever. Got a 3, 4, 5 triple operating now. Now, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can't put 4. Oh, I don't want to put 4. We've got to put 2 in one of those cells. I said that earlier. I should pencil mark it. That means 2's in one of these. I can't see the finish. We're very close to the finish. 5, 8, 2, 6. That's not a 1. That's not interesting. 8, 4, 9, 2, 5. This can't be 1 or 3 by Sudoku. So that's 6 or 7. Now that has an effect on this cell, which can't be 5 or 6 or 7. So it's 2 or 3. We must be getting to some impossibility now, surely. 9, 1, 3, 7, 5. 5 is in one of those two cells in this column, so that can't be 7. That's great. That's a 1. That's 9. That's 4. We're going to finish the row. That's 3. That's 7. These don't have a 3. They're a 1, 2 pair. That's a 3. It has to sit next to 6. Here's our 3, 6, 9 set as predicted sort of earlier. We can put in 2 and 1. That's now a 7. We've got 1 and 4 to place by Sudoku. That's not a 1. 7, 1, 4, 2, 3. That's a 5, 6 pair. Order is known. That's 9, 8. And now we're sort of finishing off, which is marvellous. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. This one has become 3 or 5, but the 1 tells us which. 6. Oh, and now I'm sort of seeing that actually that circle is a disambiguator, I think, for rows 7 and 9. So I was probably wrong earlier, but that's fair enough. 2 and 3 there. This is 8 and 9. That sorts out 9 and 1. That sorts out 2 and 1. As long as I haven't made a mistake, we get a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. And this wasn't actually very hard at all, and it's very beautiful. So what an intriguing puzzle. Thank you very much, Deborah Brata, for just educating me, actually. That's really interesting. Great fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you join us again tomorrow. Quick one today, in a way. And we'll be back with more. Bye for now.